What if the most powerful thing you could ever do is something you have been doing every moment of your life without realizing it? What if the words you speak, the feelings you carry, the images you hold in your mind are not reactions, but commands sent into a living field that obeys? You have been told manifestation is about asking, sending wishes into the void, hoping something out there listens. But the truth is, the universe is not out there. It is not separate from you. It is not a distant intelligence deciding your fate. The universe is the field you are speaking into with every breath, every thought, every feeling flowing through your body. And it has never failed to respond. Not once. The problem is not that the universe wasn't listening. The problem is that you have been speaking a language you didn't know you knew. You issued commands unknowingly, and reality reflected exactly what you broadcast. Tonight that changes. Not because you will learn a new technique or discover some secret formula, but because you will remember something fundamental, something deeply woven into your being. You are going to remember your voice, not the voice that makes sound in a room, but the voice that creates worlds. Before words existed, before humans named or categorized experience, there was something older. The ancients called it the logos, the sacred word, the original vibration. Others called it the song of creation, the hum beneath reality, the frequency holding atoms together and guiding galaxies. Whatever the name, the message is the same. The universe was spoken into being with vibration, with frequency, with the pure tone of consciousness. And that force did not vanish. It did not retreat. It lives in you. It breathes as you breathe. It moves as you move. It speaks every time you open your mouth, every time a thought crosses your mind, every time an emotion rises in your chest. You were born fluent in this language. Before doubt clouded your mind, before the world taught hesitation, you spoke effortlessly. Reality answered instantly. Watch a child. They do not question their imagination. They do not separate what they feel from what they expect. A child declares, and the universe leans in. Not because children are magical, but because they are coherent. Their words, feelings, images, expectations all vibrate at the same frequency. That coherence is the key. So what happened? You were taught a different language, the language of limitation, the language of not enough, the language of maybe someday, or who am I to ask? Over time, this became familiar, and you forgot it was learned. You mistook conditioning for truth, but conditioning is not truth. Conditioning is a frequency. Frequencies can be changed. They can be tuned. They can be realigned with the original signal humming beneath your awareness, waiting for you to remember it. This is where everything changes. The law of attraction is not philosophy. It is not belief. You do not need faith for it to work. It is as fundamental as gravity, as reliable as sunrise. And like gravity, it does not care whether you believe. It operates continuously, impersonally, with perfect precision. The field does not evaluate requests. It does not weigh worthiness. It does not decide who deserves what. It simply matches the frequency you offer, always. When your inner state whispers scarcity, the field reflects scarcity. When your consciousness rests in abundance, the field mirrors abundance. There is no waiting, no negotiation, only reflection. Creation unfolds the moment you declare it within. Your thoughts are not sparks lost in the void. They are threads in the tapestry of being. Your feelings are currents in the sea of possibility, shaping particles, shaping probability waves. Each intention is a command from the throne of awareness. The universe answers by the shape of your conviction, not your words. You can say, abundance, 1,000 times, but if the energy is, I do not have enough, the universe does not hear abundance. It hears your actual frequency, and it responds without exception. Mastery is not learning new words. It is not finding the perfect affirmation. Mastery is constancy. Dwelling in the frequency of your fulfilled desire before evidence appears, before the bank account changes, before the relationship shows up. You must become the frequency first. You must inhabit the feeling of your answered prayer while reality still looks the same. This is the challenge. The mind wants proof before belief, but the universe wants belief before proof. And in this standoff, the universe always wins. It waits as long as it takes for you to stop looking at what is and start feeling what could be. You are not reaching outward for something separate. The most important truth: you are not attracting from out there into here. You are remembering the voice that already speaks creation. That entire framework is built on separation. Separation is the illusion that keeps you speaking the wrong language. What you seek already vibrates within the infinite field that you are. The abundance you desire is not somewhere else. It exists already, within the spectrum of your consciousness. You don't need to go get it. You need to tune to it, like turning the dial on a radio, until you find the station that was always broadcasting, always there, always available, just waiting for you to align with its signal. To remember this is to speak the Logos consciously, and to speak it consciously is to create deliberately rather than by default. Now, let's go deeper. Let's talk about what it truly means to speak to the universe, not as a metaphor, not as poetry, but as a practical, moment-by-moment practice you can begin tonight. Within every vibration lies the power to shape reality. This is not mystical language made to impress. Quantum physics has been pointing to it for over a century. At the subatomic level, particles do not exist in fixed states until they are observed. Until consciousness interacts with the quantum field, everything exists as a wave of probability, a spectrum of potential outcomes, all superimposed. It is the act of observation, the act of conscious attention, that collapses these waves into particles, into experiences. Your attention is not passive, it is creative. Where you place it, you place your power. And the quality of that focus, the emotional frequency accompanying it, determines which possibilities collapse into your reality. Think about your words. Every sentence you speak is an act of focused attention. Every statement is a declaration of where you are placing your creative energy. When you say, "I am struggling," you are not merely describing a situation. You are collapsing the wave function around the frequency of difficulty. The field, obedient and responsive, matches it. When you say, "I am supported," even if circumstances don't yet reflect it, you collapse a different wave. You select a different possibility. You speak the tongue of creation, and the universe takes note. There is a profound difference between describing reality and declaring reality. Most people spend their lives describing. They look at what is, talk about what is, feel about what is, and then wonder why it never changes. Masters of manifestation do something different. They declare. They speak from intention, not observation. They announce the world they are choosing, with calm certainty, with quiet conviction. The universe hears their frequencies as commands, not complaints. This is not about positive thinking. Positive thinking is often just resistance. It is the mind trying to paste pleasant words over unpleasant feelings, saying, "Everything is fine," while your nervous system screams that nothing is fine. The universe does not listen to words. It listens to your nervous system. It responds to the signal your body is sending, not the script your mind reads. This is about shifting the actual frequency of your being, shifting the tone of your inner world, shifting the vibrational signature you carry through every moment. How do you do that? You do it the way the universe creates, through resonance. Resonance is when one vibrating body causes another to vibrate at the same frequency. Strike a tuning fork near another of the same pitch, and the second will hum without being touched. This is physics, and it works with consciousness. When you hold a frequency, sustain it with consistency and conviction, the field begins to resonate at the same frequency. People respond differently. Circumstances shift. Opportunities appear, not because you attract them from somewhere else, but because you tune to the frequency where they already exist. Your words have creative voltage, not metaphorical voltage, but actual energetic charge. Every syllable carries frequency. Every sentence carries intention. Every conversation is a creative act, whether you realize it or not. The question is not if you are creating. You are. The question is whether you are creating consciously or unconsciously. Most people speak from habit. They repeat the same phrases, the same complaints, the same stories. Then they look at unchanging circumstances and conclude change is impossible. But reality is not stuck. Their frequency is stuck. Their words reinforce the same vibrational pattern again and again, and the universe, in perfect obedience, reproduces it faithfully. Change your frequency, and reality has no choice but to follow. But words alone are not enough. This is where many fail. They learn about affirmations, declarations, speaking desires into existence, but they repeat phrases mechanically, without feeling. They recite sentences they don't believe. They write statements their body contradicts. Nothing changes. The universe does not respond to words. It responds to the feeling behind them. Empty words are like empty envelopes opened, but containing nothing. Feeling is where real power lies. Your emotions are not reactions to experience. They are generators of experience. They are the foundational frequency upon which your reality is constructed. When you feel joy, you broadcast joy into the field. The field organizes itself to match. When you feel fear, you broadcast fear. The field arranges circumstances to justify that frequency. The emotion always comes first. Always. The experience follows the emotion, not the other way around. This is the great reversal that changes everything. Most people believe they feel good when good things happen, and bad when bad things happen. But the truth is the opposite. Good things happen when you feel good. Challenging things happen when you feel challenged. The external world is a mirror, not a cause. It reflects your internal state with perfect fidelity. When you stop waiting for circumstances to change before changing your feeling, when you take responsibility for your emotional frequency, regardless of what your senses report, you step into a power most humans never access. You become a conscious creator, not an unconscious reactor. Think about what happens when your words carry genuine feeling. Saying, "I am abundant," while feeling desperate is not the same as saying it while feeling warm, expansive gratitude. The words are identical, but the frequency is completely different. In the first, you broadcast lack disguised as abundance. In the second, you broadcast true abundance, and the universe responds accordingly. The practice is not changing words, it is changing state. Find the frequency first, then let the words emerge naturally as the expression of what you are already feeling. When you do this, your words carry power. They carry the creative voltage of aligned emotion. They become living declarations the field recognizes as commands, not wishes. Feeling is where the real power lives. Your emotions are not reactions. They are generators of experience. They form the foundational frequency upon which your reality is built. When you feel joy, you broadcast joy into the field. When you feel fear, you broadcast fear. The field arranges circumstances to match your frequency. The most powerful frequency is not wanting. It is having. Wanting declares absence. The field maintains absence. Feeling as though you already have what you desire broadcasts completion. The field recognizes it and arranges circumstances to match. This is not self-deception. It is understanding creation at the deepest level. The universe operates in the eternal present. There is no past or future. All possibilities exist now. Feeling your desire as present reality is collapsing the wave function around the outcome you prefer. You are speaking the language the universe actually understands. So many place desires in the future. Someday, one day, eventually. The universe hears not now, hears delay, and faithfully reproduces it. Masters of creation claim their desires in the present. They feel them now. They speak of them as accomplished, not with force or arrogance, but with calm, unshakable certainty, the same way you would state the sky is blue. That is the tone. That is the frequency. That is how you speak to the universe. Now, go beyond words and feelings, into the realm of images. Within you is a sacred gallery, where every image becomes a seed of creation. Imagination is not a toy or escape. It is the first language of manifestation, older than words, older than emotion, older than thought. Before you can feel, you must first envision. The image comes first. The image is the seed from which everything grows. When you close your eyes and paint pictures in your mind, you communicate directly with creation. Each imagined detail sends ripples through reality. The universe responds not to your voice, but to the clarity of your inner sight. The more vivid your vision, the more powerfully you speak in the universe's native language. But here is the key aim: visualization is not forcing images. It is allowing your inner eye to open naturally, letting scenes unfold as easily as memories. To the quantum field, there is no difference between vivid memory and vivid imagination. Both carry the same frequency. Both send the same signal. Both collapse the same wave functions. This is why daydreams touched with feeling are more powerful than mechanical visualization. When you imagine your desires and feel them simultaneously. When you see, hear, smell, and touch the imagined scene, you create a multi-sensory broadcast. The universe receives it as a clear, coherent command. You are not convincing the universe. You are aligning your inner vision with what already exists in potential form, like an artist revealing the statue within the marble. Finally, the breath. In the gentle rise and fall of breath lies power older than mountains. Breath is the bridge between seen and unseen, physical and quantum, form and infinite possibility. Every inhale draws the universe in. Every exhale sends your frequency into the field. You are in constant conversation with creation through your breath. When you breathe with intention, infusing breath with feeling, vision, and purpose, you amplify your creative power exponentially. Fear constricts breath, tightens the body, and contracts the field. The universe arranges circumstances to match. Peace deepens breath, opens the body, expands the field, and the universe responds with expansion and ease. You are always telling the universe how you feel through your breath. And the universe is always listening. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, try this, not as an experiment, not as a test, but as a remembering. Return to the language you were born speaking. Find a quiet space. Let the noise of the day fall away. Let your body settle. Begin with your breath. Slow it down. Deepen it. Feel each inhale drawing peace into your body. Feel each exhale releasing everything not aligned with your highest frequency. Do this for several breaths until you feel a shift. You will know it when it happens. A moment when the mind quiets, the body softens, and something deeper takes over. Something that has been waiting for this stillness to make itself known. From this place of centered calm, choose one truth about your life. Not a wish, not a hope, a truth. A statement about your reality that you are declaring into existence. It might be, I am deeply supported by life. Or, abundance flows to me naturally and easily. Or, I am worthy of everything my heart desires. Let it arise naturally. Do not force it. Let it find you. Now speak it, not loudly, not forcefully. Speak softly, with quiet certainty, as if stating an obvious fact. Feel the words in your body. Feel them vibrating in your chest, resonating in your bones. Let the feeling of the words be more important than the words themselves. Let your entire being become the frequency of what you are declaring. Words, feelings, images, breath, all aligned, all coherent, broadcasting the same signal. Then let it go. Most people cannot do this. They speak their declaration and then grasp it, afraid it will not work. But grasping is fear. Fear contradicts the declaration. Speak your truth, then release it. Like releasing a bird from your hands, with trust, openness, and calm, knowing it will go where it needs. The universe does not need you to manage the how. It only needs you to hold the frequency. Your job is the what and the feeling, nothing more. This is the forgotten art of speaking to the universe. Not begging, not bargaining, not negotiating. Declaring, with feeling, vision, breath, with the full coherence of your being, aligned around a single truth. This is how stars are born, how galaxies take shape, how reality itself is woven from the threads of consciousness. And this is how, in your quiet room, you reshape your world. This practice is not a one-time event. It is a way of being. A continuous conversation with the field. Every morning, you can choose your frequency. You can pick up the old broadcast of worry, doubt, and limitation. Or you can consciously choose a new frequency. Take a breath. Feel the truth of who you are. Begin your day from that place, not denying challenges, not ignoring circumstances, but knowing they are echoes of yesterday's frequency. Today, in this breath, you can broadcast something new. The universe is not punishing you with your current reality. It is showing you your current frequency. That is all. Once you see it, something extraordinary happens. You stop being a victim and become the author of your reality. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what frequency am I holding that creates this reflection? In that shift, you reclaim your creative power. This is not about perfection. You will have moments of doubt, fear, and old patterns rushing back. That is fine. The practice is not never falling out of alignment. It is noticing and returning gently. Each time you catch yourself and shift, you strengthen coherence. Each time you pause, breathe, and realign, you deepen the neural pathways of conscious creation. You are not aiming for perfect. You are aiming to be awake. This practice compounds. Like interest in a bank account, consistent alignment builds. At first, the shifts are small. A moment of kindness, a synchronicity, a door opening where you expected a wall. But as you continue holding your frequency, speaking your truth with feeling, vision, and breath, the shifts accelerate, grow, multiply. One day, your entire reality reorganizes around the frequency you have been holding. And it happens not through struggle, not through force, but through resonance. Speaking the language of creation with consistency and conviction makes the universe respond. Coherence leaves no option for refusal. The universe can only match. It can only mirror. It can only become the physical equivalent of what you broadcast. Resistance happens only when there is incoherence. When words say one thing and feelings another. When the mind envisions abundance, but the body holds tension and fear. Then the universe receives a scrambled signal and produces a scrambled result. But when you are coherent, when every layer of your being sings the same note, creation flows as naturally as water finding its level. Return to this message each morning. Let these words reset your frequency. Let them remind you of the language you were born to speak. And if someone comes to mind, share it. When you pass this understanding to another consciousness, you do not dilute your signal. You amplify it. You create resonance between awakening voices, strengthening the coherent field for both of you. Now reflect. What have you been saying to the universe? Not with your mouth, but with your being. What frequency have you been broadcasting through habitual thoughts, default emotions, and unconscious assumptions? What language have you been speaking without knowing it? And what language do you choose to speak from this moment forward? The choice is yours. It always has been. The universe has waited with infinite patience for you to remember. You are not a beggar at the gates of creation. You are the voice of creation itself, temporarily convinced you lost your power. You have lost nothing. You have only forgotten. And what is forgotten can be remembered. What is remembered can be spoken. What is spoken with coherence and conviction becomes the living fabric of your experience. This is your birthright, not something you have to earn, prove yourself worthy of, or that is reserved for the enlightened few. This is the fundamental nature of your being. You are consciousness. Consciousness creates reality. Therefore, you create reality. The logic is inescapable. The only question is, will you create by default or by design? Will you speak the language of your conditioning or the language of your choosing? Will you echo the past or call forth the future? Tonight, as you close your eyes, remember this: the universe is not out there waiting to be convinced. The universe is the field of awareness in which you exist. It is as close as your heartbeat, as intimate as your breath, and it is listening, always, not to your words, but to your frequency, not to what you say, but to what you are. Align what you say with what you are. Align what you think with what you feel. Align what you imagine with the truth in the deepest chamber of your heart. Watch what happens when a human being remembers how to speak the original language. Watch what happens when the voice of creation recognizes itself in you, and through you begins to sing a new world into being. You have always had this power. You are not acquiring something new tonight. You are coming home to something ancient, encoded in every cell, woven into every strand of your being, waiting with the patience of eternity for this moment of recognition. Speak your truth tonight, not tomorrow, not when conditions feel perfect. Tonight, in the quiet of your room, in the stillness of your breath, in the sacred space between who you were and who you are becoming, speak it softly. Speak with feeling. Speak with the images of your fulfilled desire dancing behind closed eyes. Then release it into the field with calm trust, as someone who knows the universe has never once failed a coherent call. It cannot fail. It is not built to fail. It is built to mirror. And when it mirrors the full, coherent, feeling, drenched declaration of a consciousness, remembering its creative nature, what it reflects is miraculous, not supernatural, but miraculous because a human being is finally speaking the language they were born to speak. This is your voice, your frequency, your conversation with the infinite. And it begins now, not in some distant future, not after more work on yourself, not after more books, seminars, or thresholds of spiritual development. Now, in this breath, in this moment, in the word you are about to speak into the listening field of creation, the universe is leaning in. Can you feel it? That subtle shift, that quiet expectancy, that sense that something is about to change. That is the field responding to your attention. That is creation recognizing that one of its own voices is about to remember how to sing. Let it happen. Do not force it. Do not strain. Simply allow the truth of who you are to rise naturally, like a bubble through still water. When it surfaces, speak it. Breathe it. Feel it. See it. Be it. And so it is. If this resonates with you, if you felt even a flicker of recognition, then you already know this is not new information. This is a remembering. And the fact that you are here, listening, feeling, opening, tells me everything about where you are on your journey. You are ready. You have always been ready. You were waiting for a reminder. Leave one word in the comments. One word that captures the frequency you choose to broadcast from this moment forward. Let that word be your declaration. Your first conscious act of speaking to the universe with the full power of your awakened voice. And if you want to continue this conversation, to go deeper into conscious creation, stay close to this channel. Subscribe, not to gain more information, but because the journey is easier when walked alongside others remembering, finding their voice, and learning to speak the language that reshapes worlds. Until next time, remember you are not learning to manifest. You are remembering that you never stopped. And if you are ready to understand why your identity, not your desire, is the true engine behind everything that manifests in your life, watch your identity creates reality, not your desire. It reveals the quantum truth of why shifting who you are changes everything you experience.